Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to use the Divi builder on the back end of your website. I'm going to go ahead and start with my website just because it's a little bit easier. Uh, the Divi builder gives you a lot of options for controlling the design of your site and having a lot of options, making it easy, but also if you want to get more complicated to be able to do that. I'm going to kind of go over both beginner and some more advanced lessons, and I'll try to make sure that you know when it's advanced. So uh, you might want to, pay attention a little bit more, or just skip over it. So you obviously have your sidebar here. You can apply the Divi Builder is now applied to posts, and you can actually any other page types you make, you can go ahead and apply it to any other custom page type. That's an advanced note, by the way. So we're going to go to pages. You're going to see I have all my pages laid out right here. We're going to go ahead and go to add new. And right off the bat, you'll notice obviously your title. So let's just say that this is a services page or example page, because that might be a little bit easier to understand or me to make. So you want to go ahead and click this button right here, use Divi Builder. And what you'll notice is it's going to come up with a cool little screen, a cool little area like this on your site. I also want to point out this little area up here. This kind of gives you a few extra little page settings options. Dot navigation, that'll give you little dots on the side so people can click on them and it'll automatically go to that area. Hide navigation before scroll. That will obviously hide navigation, and once you scroll it'll pop it in. So first thing I'm going to go over really quickly is this really cool library. This is actually a really cool tool that allows you to take a design that you've made in this drag and drop editor and save it to your library and then reload it later. Obviously there's nothing now, so save to your library won't do much, but if I load from my library, you'll have your own custom sections up here, but it actually already comes preloaded with a lot of different options. But you'll just notice that there already are a lot of options. So just for fun, I'll delete it. But just for fun, I'm going to go to load sales page. And you'll notice what that does when I preview our example page is that preloads the page with all kinds of elements. So it's just up to you to go and fill in elements. This is really handy for pages where, like if you have an events page or you have a product page or something like that, you can just build the page once, and then next time you need to duplicate it, you just go in and change information within your builder. So I'm going to clear the layout. I'm going to start fresh. Okay. So this green area represents the wide portion of your site. So that represents the area from the very, very left to the very, very right of your screen. This green area right here represents your wrapper. It's the 1080 or however big your screen is. It's just the pixels that show inside this boundary. So obviously if I scale the page, you'll notice that the boundary doesn't change unless we get smaller, but then really if I get way, way, way big, it still doesn't change that 1080 boundary. We can always change the size of that boundary, but 1080 is just a really good option for now. So that controls all of your content within that. So you'll notice when I click on this blue, these three lines right here on the blue side, it'll give me a lot of options for your design. I'm going to go background image. Okay, do I want a background image? Let's say I want a big hero image up here with a little, call to action. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to go into my library. You can either upload or let's, for now, just pick a hero image. Okay, that might work. Actually, let's do this one. Okay, so that's going to be my hero image for now. If you want to do just a solid background color, you can do this. If you want it to be transparent, you can have it be transparent. This will help if you have other things behind it. I'll get into that later. It's a little more advanced. You can do a video background if you want a really cool video background. You'll notice some sites have really big full videos with little call to actions in the center. That'll allow you to do that. Some video options, show inner shadow. Parallax is kind of fun. Parallax is that effect when you scroll, the image actually stays put. So there's two types of parallax. There's CSS and there's true parallax, which is when you scroll, the image doesn't stay put, but it doesn't move as fast as the scrolling page. For now, I'm just going to do CSS parallax because that's fun. You can add some padding, and you have CSS ID and CSS class. I will get into that in a little bit. That's more advanced. So if you want to, if you're an advanced person, you can actually go into here as well and go into custom CSS. This allows you to apply custom CSS to that element right here on that module without having to build. Usually what you do is you'd build your style sheet. You'd have all of these elements in your style sheet, and that's really fun until you want to get to CSS that's only used for one module. And in that case, what you do is you end up having huge style sheets with 100 different variations for 100 different modules in it. And right here, you can just control it all within this one module. So makes it kind of easy for people who want to be a little bit more advanced. Okay, so I set my background. That's what that is. Now inside of here, I'm going to go ahead and set my columns. They kind of do a really good job at laying out what columns you already can use. There's a few other options. I'll go into that later in the some more advanced stuff, but you can. It's kind of nice because you can have a control right off the bat over what your column design will look like. So for the sake of this, let's do a full width. Okay. Now, insert modules. This is where the power of the website really starts to come into play. When you insert module, you'll notice it gives you a lot of different options. This is really kind of the core and the power of the website, is it allows you to put almost any element where you want and how you want it. So let's say it's a full width module. We know it's a full width module. I can do full width images, video sliders, testimonials, call to actions. There's just so many different options here. And when you get a moment just to go through and look at them, some of them are really neat, like the shop and the blog option. When you click blog, it'll actually bring in your blog feed. And you can be very specific with the number of posts and categories and stuff like that. With shop, if you have products, you can bring in your shop with specific products or featured products or whatever. So it gives you a lot of power in terms of how you use these columns in your web page. So for now, I'm just going to do a title. So we're going to do insert. I'm going to do text. For now, every module has its own custom design settings. So make sure to look at the design settings of all your modules. Sometimes there will be advanced design settings, which I'll get into in a second. Actually, let me just go ahead and put in my title real quick. If you go to visual, there's visual and text editor as well within the modules. So welcome. Let's just do that. So I'm going to highlight this. And then what you'll notice is you have the ability to edit the HTML if you want, or you can go in here and edit stuff this way. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go white, and I want to make it really, really big. So I'm going to just add in my own little tag here. Font size is, let's do 50 pixels. Okay, so there are advanced design settings with font size, text size, header size, background color, borders, custom margins, paddings. This is in case you want to, like let's say you want black text on a white little card. You can make, you can go in here and say white card with black text. Nope, that's being weird. There we go. White card with a background, with border. It's just kind of nice. You can do a lot of that here. Sometimes I do it in my code, but this just gives you a lot of options. And obviously you have your custom CSS if you want it. Okay, so let's just for fun take a look at that. I'm going to preview, and we'll see what this looks like. Okay, that's not amazing, and it's obviously not scrolling because we're not there yet. But I want to add a few more things. I'm going to go to text. I do want a little bit more space. To me, this might not be enough for what I'm doing. So I'm going to go to insert module. You'll notice divider right here, and you can add in a divider above and below your image. So color, I'm going to keep it transparent. Height, I want to do, let's do a 50 pixel height to this divider. I'm going to go ahead and drag this above my text. Now I actually want to copy that. So these two little lines right here on any of your items means copy. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the divider. And I didn't think that text size was big enough, so I'm going to do 100, and I'm going to do, I'll do it in the visual just so you see it. I'm going to do bold. Okay, now let's preview and see what that did. Okay, made it a little better. Now I'm going to come in here and I want to add in a call to action underneath my button. So I'm going to insert module, insert call to action. My title, I'm not going to put a title just because when you play with this, when you get familiar with it, you'll notice that certain things create certain things that you might not want. Button URL for now, I'm just going to make it on this page. URL opens in the same window. Button text is see more. Background color, no, I don't want a background color. Text color light, yep. Text orientation centered, and I'm going to go welcome. This is a cool sentence. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and copy. I'm going to turn it white. I'm going to center it. And now I'm going to actually take my call to action. I'm going to drag it up here. I'm going to preview it, and it should do something kind of cool. There we go. Call to action with a button. Now, for me, this isn't quite done yet, but some of the things I want to do to it are a little bit more custom. So I think this is good for this first video. Hopefully this gives you kind of an overview of how to use the Divi Builder, how to integrate some of these things. In my next video, I will go into some of the more complicated features. Otherwise, if you want to, my recommendation is just to play around with it, become really familiar with this builder, and then you'll kind of understand how it all works. If you want a few more advanced, cool tips, just make sure to watch the next video.